Hey there, folk and folkettes. You're listening to an episode of The Daily Riff, the official podcast of the Discord server. You guessed it, Riff-Off. If you aren't a part of our merry band, click the link in the description below to join, as we don't bite. And if you're feeling generous, do subscribe to help us out. And with that, we thank you. Now, on of the regularly scheduled programming. Well, hello again, wonderful, amazing people of The Daily Riff. It is I, your host, Mika on a lovely Wednesday, the 21st of January 2026. Now, you are listening to The Daily Riff, episode number 112. I know I forgot to do it last episode, and I was caught up on that, and I apologize. But today, we have some wonderful topics for you, such as 2026's first solar eclipse, and a weird body mystery, and DNA technology? Sounds interesting with IRL news. And for Riff News, we have news and word of a new channel, and just a friendly reminder for you all. So with that being said, let us get to the IRL headlines. Now, for what you have all been waiting for, the IRL news of the 21st of course, January 2026. Now, first up, we have 2026's first solar eclipse. On the 17th day of February at 9:56 UTC, the first solar eclipse of 2026 will take place. The moon will pass directly between the sun and the earth, creating the eclipse that will last up to 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm not really the most knowledgeable about, events like this, but fair enough. And then, for our next bit of IRL news, a random skeleton washed up on a beach. A skeleton that had been washed up on a beach 20 years ago had been examined. Upon examination, they had discovered it to be the skeleton of a missing mayor of Oregon. He had vanished in 2006 upon a fishing trip. His remains had sat for nearly 2 decades, until DNA technology was able to solve the mystery. That sounds like something that would come out of a novel, or like some detective work kind of thing. But either way, those are some pretty interesting headlines. Well, with that being said though, dear listeners, we shall be moving on to the next part of the Daily Riff. Now, with all the serious stuff out of the way and all done with, shall we get into a wonderful, amazing, humorous segment, if you will, that really tickles my funny bone every single time it's on? Shall we have our lovely installment of today, being Wednesday's installment of Carrie's Corny Jokes. Take it away, Carrie.
Hello, beautiful people of Riff-Off. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever you may be. Alrighty, today I got 2 jokes for you guys today, and both are yet again different people. This is beautiful. Keep it up, guys. If you too want to send in jokes just like these beautiful people that are featured on my segment, then please do in the Riff-Off community server under Community in Roof Studios Hub, where you will find Carrie's Corny Jokes. There you may send in whatever PG-13 and appropriate corny jokes you may have. Yes, we include even your dad jokes. Now on to the real stars of the show. First joke is from the glorious Penelope. And if you guys didn't know, Penelope does have a segment just like mine, named Penelope's Picks. I suggest you go check out her segment too. Now on to the joke. She said, "What do you call a medieval lamp?" "A nightlight." I know y'all get that joke. You guys get it. And now on to the last joke today, which is from the amazing Ash. And if you also did not know that Ash has a segment too on the Daily Riff, it should be airing today. Wonder what Ash is talking about today. Anyways, on to the joke from Ash. He said, "Why did the crocheted project go to therapy?" "It had too many unraveled feelings." Guys, you know I love a good crochet joke. They are some of my favorites, truly. Alright, and that is all I got for you guys today. Thank you, and I'm handing the mic back to you, Mika.
Right then, I don't know if you all are getting this, but I don't think that was Carrie with any corny jokes. Actually, that was you know what? I'm gonna excuse that and say that was just an error, right? Well, anyways, thank you, not so Carrie, for the segment. Now, for the event lineup for today. Of course, the amazing event lineup. Unlike yesterday, we actually have an event for Wednesday, the 21st of January. We have an amazing event known as Royal Debate, hosted by Carrie, and hopefully it is actually Carrie. and it is hosted at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, Royal Debates is a event where you go up and you have a partner and you are deciding whether or not to debate on a topic, whether you are for or against it. And if you win a bunch of debates in a tournament-style bracket, I believe you win a Royal Debate crown and get special access and privileges and bragging rights and stuff. But that aside, shall we move on from the event lineup? Because that is all we have for the 21st. Well done, beautiful people. If you have survived all of that, then who knows if you'll survive a ad break brought to you by Riff Studios.
It all started on a rainy night. I was browsing Riff-Off.
And then what happened?
I saw that the open mic event was happening, and I thought, this would be great to join. But no one was there.
But don't people know they can get 2,000 XP and 250 Riff coins for just performing? Oh, thank God. It was just the wind.
Hey, what's everyone talking about?
Ah!
Whoa. No need to scream, guys. I just wanted to see if y'all wanted to join me for the super cool open mic event that we're having. It's Campfire Open Mic, I believe.
Oh, they heard there was a campfire open mic event. That's not so scary after all.
Well, as the crickets fade out and the ad comes to a stop, I do believe that was a wonderful ad indeed. Amazing acting from Slick, from Carrie, from Ash, just generally great sound effects, and I generally loved it. Ever so much. Oh, and there seems to be the doorbell. Well then, lovely listeners, shall we get on to your Slick token for today? The daily code word or Slick token for today is Duolingo. That is Duolingo. Now enter that into the bot center for 1.5 thousand XP and 1,000 Riff coins. Now, with that being said, shall we get on to the next part of the show? Now, Riff-Offians and YouTube viewers, we have our daily dose of Riff news. Now, first of all, we have a new channel called the Back to 2016 channel, and it is here in Riff-Off, so feel free to share any old 2016 photos you have in store. See how far you've come, what's changed, and how different you are compared to 10 years ago. A great wave of nostalgia for you all. Now, a friendly reminder, check out Karaoke Roulette, airing every Sunday, an exciting take of the classic event hosted in Riff-Off, brought to you by Riff Studios. Contestants show their singing and prediction skills, where they are able to win cash and prizes, which are worth up to 10,000 Riff coins. Now with that being said, on to the next part of the show. Right then, on to a lovely part of the Daily Riff, one I have been anticipating for quite a while now. It is a performance sport, which will be performed by the lovely and amazing Lovely.
There's an endless stream of trusted food and hundreds of bugs. If you love this, introduce quickly you smell RX, cause people barf and piss and come in them a ton. And when they do, I get to go and clean it up. Hypodermic needles left all over the place, and our rats are grown immunity and sprayed by mace. So I gotta take my knife and stab them all in that face, and now they treat me like a queen because I'm covered in rap. Magical land, hotel of my dreams. Disgusting is the ugliest building that I've ever seen, and I get to clean it up. Help me! Okay! ホテルは本当にとても素敵です。チャリはとても安いジョークです。彼女はそことちょうど信じてます。でもの大好きの T 線も花やは trash So it to get no asshole でも私はまだ上も行ってしまう。わしだは clean it up Yes!
What a short and yet sweet performance from the amazing Lovely from Latoya's system. I do love Has Been Hotel, and generally, that is a great multilingual song with a lot of character acting. So good job for you there, and thank you for submitting that to performance submissions. Now, on to the next part of the show. Right then, audience, I have some fears for the segment that is upcoming, our second and last segment of the day. I have some fears that it might not be Ash from Ash's Junk Drawer, but either way, shall we find out?
Howdy, this is Ash speaking. Welcome to the Junk Drawer. Though this is a magical junk drawer, Mary Poppins back has nothing on us. Today, we have the Rift Studios hub. When I said this thing was magical, I didn't think it could fit a whole community of suggestions. Well, let's see here. Why don't we talk about the post for Carrie's Corny Jokes? Now, stand-up comedy is a pretty well-known profession. I think we all could pick a favorite comedian off the top of our heads in a famous line. Just think about how many people have felt that way for the past 200 years. This profession began appearing somewhere in the 1800s throughout the US and UK. The boom didn't actually occur though until the 1970s and 80s, especially in bigger cities like New York and Los Angeles. Now, like Harry, who makes $0 in comedy, many professionals don't make very much money for the first several years of their jobs. It can actually take 8 to 15 years for a comedian to develop their own unique voice. There's a ton of styles such as observational, storytelling, deadpan, absurdist, political, and dark comedy. Typically, Carrie uses basic jokes like knock-knock jokes and puns, and we love her for it. Fun fact, comedy releases endorphins and dopamine, which tend to reduce stress. Many comedians actually report having anxiety and depression because of a constant fear of evaluation. Though you wouldn't know it, since most have learned to hide it over time. No wonder it's so stressful with some of the taboo topics that arise. Though, for Carrie, it's just a matter of nailing that laugh after each punchline. Comedians often write hundreds of jokes to keep only a small number that work consistently. The same joke can be rewritten dozens of times to remove just one unnecessary word. Most comedians actually keep notebooks or phone books filled with unfinished ideas and jokes. Or, if they're like Harry, they have a secret thread in the Rift Studio server to keep all of their used jokes. There's no universal definition of what makes something funny, though surprise, recognition, and tension are some key ingredients. Fun fact, the longest stand-up set on record lasted over 40 hours. Also, comedians tend to remember their bomb jokes more than their best ones. I wonder if Carrie has a pile of those. I should ask her later. I do know she has a post in the Rift Studios forum though. Be sure to check that out to give her some jokes if you want to help her slideshow grow. And while I'd love to tell you so much more, it appears as though we've run out of time. Time to close the drawer for the week. Hopefully next time I'll see you back here to find some treasure amongst Ash's junk drawer once again.
Well then, as the music fades out, and of course my disappointment starts to arise. I was not informed of this, but yeah, that was totally Ash, and yeah, in Carrie's Corny Jokes, that was totally Carrie. Thank you very much, Ash, for your amazing segment. Right then, so on to the last part of the show. Now, with shenanigans and amazing performances and news aside of, skeletons and solar eclipses, it has been the 112th episode of the Daily Riff, which will air on Wednesday, the 21st of January 2026. Thank you very much, listeners, for listening. I have been your magnificent, marvellous, and magical host, Mika Bobika. I thank you very much for staying loyal to us, and we will see you in the next episode or installment of the Daily Riff. Goodbye.